Howdy, I'm Olivia.
And I'm Julia.
Welcome to the Drive-In. This is Silver Screeners. Please enjoy the show and subscribe. Woohoo!
Woo!
We are playing another game.
Yes!
Yay! We like these.
We like playing games.
And we also would like it if you maybe played along too. This isn't really a game where it's like we get points. This is just like a would you rather sort of situation. We're doing which film house would you rather live in? We also have TV shows in here. Yeah, which film house would you rather live in? And it's gonna be kind of a surprise for us too, because we put together like our own on the list, but we don't know each other's.
So we might have the same one at some point, maybe.
Maybe. Then we know the answer definitively.
We know which is the right answer. Because
I wish we did this format for the babies in our podcast that is no longer happening. R.I.P. Hives and Lows.
R.I.P. Hives and Lows. This is the newer Hives and Lows.
Improved. But we did like a would you parent this movie baby? And I feel like we should have done a would you rather situation where it's like, but that's also like wild to have to pick a baby.
And Olivia had like so many different babies because American Horror Story for some reason is obsessed with babies. So.
Yeah, I did. I think I had like 2 or 3 different babies from American Horror Story.
Yeah, that's where I got the lore drop about Horror Story.
Yeah, about Ryan Murphy and pregnancy. Why? We'll never know. Anyway, let's do this.
Okay, let's start with yours. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I picked the Pink Palace from Coraline. It's crazy neighbors. There's a mouse problem. There is a portal to another dimension. And the beldam does reside here.
And then I chose, I don't know what it's called, but the Leatherface house from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Storage, including a closet and a basement, no AC, no city noise, free meals, but possible cannibals.
Yeah. I mean, would the cannibals come with the house?
I don't know. That's kind of the thing, is that I feel like they would be the ones renting it out.
That's crazy. Can you imagine them renting, being landlords? Let's see. This is the category creepy, by the way. I did categories for each of these. So this is the creepy category. So if you had to choose one of these houses to live in, what would you choose? I don't know. The Leatherface house is way out. You know?
Yeah.
So if you like don't want to be around people, then I think that's the best place to choose, because like the Pink Palace is like an apartment building.
Yeah, but I think that's also the positive of the Pink Palace in case like something bad happens.
Yeah, but something bad did happen to a little girl and none of the neighbors cared.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is that I'm like, okay, how old am I? Would I get taken?
Yeah, that's the other thing. If I don't have kids, so I feel like I'd be, but my sister is a kid, and if she visits, then that's over.
Yeah, but I feel like your sister would like be like, what is this portal? This looks not smart.
Oh yeah, no, me too. If I was a kid, I'm not going in.
Yeah,
I'm not going in the portal. The mouse thing, though, I don't want them in my house. I'm fine that it's Bobinski's. Like, they're Bobinski's dancing mice. Miss Spink and Miss Forcible, I do want to, I want to live near them. I
want to hang out with them.
Yes. I would be over at their place every weekend. I think I'm picking the Pink Palace.
I think I am too, because no offense to the Leatherface house.
OAC is rough, and I don't have a car. So I'm gonna need something that's close to other things. Yeah,
that's why it's so hard for her to get away.
I need to find, like, it has to be easily accessible for me to go somewhere.
No, yeah, I agree.
The Pink Palace wins this round.
Woohoo.
Next, this is the Luxurious. I forgot what I picked.
Okay, I'll remove yours. We can do it one at a time.
Okay. Parasite House.
my god.
Is a luxurious house. Minimalist. Has a secret basement. Big backyard. A lot of stuff went down there, so but 2 families died / were maimed there, so
Hey, you know what? Cheaper.
cheaper. You're right. You're right. Hey, it's just a nice house.
It is a nice house.
It's a very nice house.
Nice stairs where she's walking it up.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. We just have to
yeah.
check the secret basement and make sure nobody's living there.
Or free them just to be like, get out of my house.
Yeah, get out of my house. Although the way that Parasite ended, he doesn't want to get out of the house. What's yours? I almost picked. I almost picked the Cullen house, but I was like, I think they might pick the Cullen house, so I'm not
no,
going
and
to.
then also in addition, there weren't a lot of good angles, so I was originally gonna go for the Lego set. But
some of these I did pick inside pictures because I had to.
Yeah, no. So. For the Cullen house in Twilight, there's a piano.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can hear Robert Pattinson's weird demo that he recorded for Twilight in there playing. There's no beds. However, there's like places where you can sit and lay.
You can bring your own bed in. It's your
you
house
can bring
now.
your own bed, or you can sleep on the patio and look at all of the wilderness around you. There's
That's
also
true.
tree climbing.
Yeah.
Lots of windows.
Yeah, Parasite House has a lot of windows too. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're similar.
Yeah.
They're very similar, like looks wise.
Yeah. And the only other thing keeping me from choosing the Parasite House is the secret basement and the 2 families.
That's
dying.
true, but that's kind of cool. Like I would turn that into like a recording space, you know? Like I'd just move all my equipment down there.
Yeah, but Olivia, what happens if you do that and then just a guy pops out?
No, I'm gonna go down there before and say, you're gonna have to go, bud. This is my house. You're gonna have to leave, my guy. Or maybe I'll be like, hey, you can live down here if you pay rent.
Rent. Give me rent.
I don't know, because the Cullen house is far out. And once again, I don't have a car.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. It is still far out a little bit, but at least not as bad as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's true, because it's a smaller town, right? I think I'll pick the Cullen house then.
I think I will also.
Yeah.
Like the Parasite house does come like a very close second.
Oh yeah, no, it's like this is a beautiful house.
It's such a beautiful house.
It's so beautiful. And we see the inside and it's oh my gosh. It's so gorgeous.
You know what the Cullen house has that the Parasite house doesn't have?
What?
A bunch of graduation caps.
On that note, we are going to move on. Our next category is fantasy.
Ooh.
Okay, this is the Crystal Temple from Steven Universe. There's a lot of rooms and they're tailored to you. Like, so that little shack in the middle is like where Steven lives, but like they have like rooms, like each of the gyms have rooms that are like tailored to them. Yeah, it's cool. The waterfront property, it's literally on the beach. Problem is that there are bubbled, corrupted gems that have turned into monsters that are stashed within the crystal temple.
Hey, you know what? If the crystals are living there, they can.
If the crystal gems are living there, yeah, they can take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a warp pad centerpiece, which is a warp pad is basically like a teleportation device. And if you do have it sounds good, but if you do have gym enemies, they can just use another warp pad and come to you. So,
okay.
But it is cool that the hand that the statue has, that's where they do their laundry. They have like washing machine and a dryer up there. And there's a lighthouse on top. So yeah, it's a small beach town.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Like it's the Crystal Temple.
Okay, I forget what I chose for this. What did I choose for this? We're about to see.
Oh, shiz.
I couldn't really think of anything else. Shiz University. Yes, it's a university. However, there's a lot of places where you can stay. There's a lot of magic,
Mhm.
loads of transportation. You can go by boat, broom, whatever. And then the weather is always clear because
That's
that
true.
one professor can do stuff with the weather.
Miss Morrible.
There's also a wide range of terrain. You get the water, you get the roses,
Yeah.
and you get the terrain that she sings with Wizard and I. However, there is some girls singing at 6 a.m. in the morning. However,
And it's dorms.
it's dorms. However, it is Ariana Grande.
That is true. That is true. However, I'm not in the mood for anybody to even look at me at 6 in the morning.
Yeah, no,
So
that's real. Literally, I'm choosing Crystal Temple. I already know my answer. I
I
don't have
think
a
I'm using Crystal. I think I'm picking Crystal Temple too. I'm terrified of the bad guys that could come out of this
That's true.
situation. The warp pads can break. So if we, take over the house and we break the warp pad, maybe, but if it takes place during Steven Universe Future, then all that stuff has been fixed. There's no more war. So if it takes place during Steven Universe Future, then all that stuff is fixed.
Also, if there's crazy shit happening in the temple, we can just go back into our rooms and lock the door.
That's true. They're literally like, it's cool. They're like portals that you go into your room, and then yeah, and then it's cool.
Okay,
It's
cool. And
awesome.
I miss having a washer and dryer in my residence. So
You're telling me. I yeah, and it's cool cuz you do your laundry like with a view
exactly.
cuz you're up on that little hand.
Yeah. And then also
Big
the
hand.
lighthouse.
Yeah.
Robert
Ah,
Pattinson lives there.
I love the Crystal Temple.
Dystopian.
Dystopian.
Okay, let's see what you chose.
I chose the prison from The Walking Dead.
I just love that it just says prison.
Okay, so it is the Georgia Correctional Facility, but I couldn't put all of that in there without like moving a bunch of stuff around. So people they just call it the fandom just calls it the prison. So I figured that it'd be fine. This is the prison from The Walking Dead seasons 3 and half of 4. There's a lot of walls and fences. If we're talking like in a dystopian world, there's a lot of walls and fences. There's many rooms. There's cells, but still. Um, it is not tank proof. That is
I'm guessing that
proven.
plays a plot point.
Yes, that is proven to be a fact. And there's a big hole in the back not connected to the tank situation. There is just a big hole in the back that they can't cover with anything. But cell block C, which I think it's C, which is what they're in, is completely like quartered off and like fine and locked up. So Cell
Okay.
Block C, and in season 4, they love it. They're able to like plant stuff out on the field, and they have like a water system. They got the showers to work,
Oh, that's
and they
cool.
all get to live in their little cells, and it's like personalized little rooms, and it's fun. So if it in a dystopian world, I'd say that's a
No,
pretty nice.
that is pretty nice. Are you able to answer why they can't cover the hole?
I'm pretty sure that just in an effort to stop, zombies, there was a bombing situation happening and half of the back of the prison is like blown off. So there's
Okay.
a big giant hole and like some characters that are like new to the show, but like they came in through that way because they
Ah.
didn't know that it was occupied because all they saw was like, oh, there's a big hole in the back of the prison. Let's go in there because they're running from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I originally thought it was like a hole in the wall, so that's why I was like,
Yeah, no. There's just like piles of like bricks everywhere and stuff because it's like blown up. Which is funny because they take forever to try to get into the prison. And I'm like, y'all, if y'all just would have gone around the back, there's a big old hole.
okay. So my dystopia one I chose was the wooden cabin from Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So
Hey.
it's lakeside, has
Mm-hmm.
good storage. You could
Yeah.
hide a gun there. It has historical importance. The president of Pan Am was there.
We wouldn't
Uh,
know that though.
we wouldn't know that.
No.
but he was there. And a good rest stop for running to District 13, if it exists. And
Huh.
then there's fresh food because there's like a water system, like Katniss root.
This has come down in my head too. Do I want to live in the Walking Dead universe or do I want to live in the Hunger Games universe? Um,
No.
if I'm living in a dystopian universe, in every dystopian universe, you do kind of want to have a group. And I'm not sure if a group would be comfortable in a cabin, like a group.
So I will say, I think the cubby goes there a lot.
They do go there, but like to live there.
I mean, I don't
Like that
know.
would be kind of rough. And it's in District 12. About
I
that
think you might
one.
be right. I think the prison might be a good idea. That's the first time I've ever said that
I
sentence.
think the prison might be a good idea. You're right. It is like I'm trying to think because I'm like both universes to live in are bad.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
would not
both
survive a
universes to live
zombie
in
apocalypse. And
are
also,
just rough. But Walking Dead zombies are slow. They're slow, they're decaying, and they can't get in with all the fences and stuff. If we're talking post tank, they can get in. If we're talking post tank, it's a rough situation. If we're talking pre tank, then the fences are up. The watchtower is not blown to pieces, and it's not overrun run by walkers.
the only thing I can think of with the problem is obviously like you're out in the woods and there might be the craft
Oh yeah.
thing for a wooden cabin. But
Yeah. Don't want to live in District 12 unless it's like post Mockingjay.
yeah, and that's like the only thing I'm kind of thinking of is that in Catching Fire, the book, there's like a woman and her daughter who like live in a cabin off of District 12 that are making their way to District 13.
Yeah.
So I'm
If
like thinking
if
like
you
that's
have like
possible.
kids in your group though, that's a rough situation for
That's
them. I will say that is not in defense of the prison. Is in season 4 there is a literal illness outbreak. Yeah, and they can't do anything about it because they're all in a prison together, but they do find uh like they empty out an entire cell block and put all the sick in there like quarantine. And they do
okay.
figure it out, but their disease will spread very quick
Is the
in this situation.
disease bad? Well, no,
It
that sounds
was Ebola adjacent. They were bleeding from the eyes.
okay.
They died by choking on their own blood. So, but they did fix it. It was fixed, but people did die.
I think I'm gonna go for the prison.
I'm gonna go for it too. I think. I
Because
think
like
I would rather. I think I'm more prepared to live in a Walking Dead situation than I would be in a Hunger Games
yeah,
situation.
me too. I feel like even though like I've been devouring the media of the Hunger Games, I would not be able to.
That makes it scarier.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and then Walking Dead. I think I've like thought about it before. I was a big Walking Dead fan. I've thought about it before, and I'm like, I think I could handle walkers.
Yeah, and also like I know a lot of people who watch The Walking Dead, so if we all got spawned in this universe, I think we
True.
would be able to have a community.
I agree. They figured it out. They figured it out. I will say they had a doctor. That made a difference.
Yeah.
Let's move on. The next one is animal homes. I struggled with this, but I found one that was very nostalgic to me, but doesn't quite make sense. So
Okay. Okay. Well, let's see what that house is.
that house is
Oh.
Piglet's house from Winnie the Pooh. It is very small. Piglet is small, and Piglet lives in a tree. So it is a tree.
Mhm.
There is a balcony. Look at that little balcony up
It's so
there.
cute.
And it's on 100 acres of property.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's like nothing like crazy going on. It's not like there's like anything scary. It's a very safe situation. I don't know how we would ever be able to fit inside of that house, but it's fine.
Even if we couldn't fit into Piglet's house, like all the other people in the 100 Acre Wood have cool houses also.
That's true. Well, not Eeyore.
Not Eeyore,
Not Eeyore.
but
I love Eeyore
I love
though.
you.
Eeyore and Piglet are my favorites. Have you okay. Nobody else in my life has ever seen this movie, so I need to know if you've seen it. Have you seen Piglet's Big Adventure?
Yes.
Oh, I love that
It's
movie.
so good.
I love that movie. That was one of my movies on repeat when I was little.
Yeah,
And I had it
and
on
then
VHS.
me too. And then the Heffalump movie was like my first
Yes.
movie in theaters as a kid.
Oh, the first
So
movie I can remember seeing in theaters was the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, actually.
that's
So
a really good
I think honestly, even if you just slept outside in the 100 acre woods, then you'd be.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, like Christopher Robin sleeps in a tree sometimes. Like, good for him.
That's true. That's true. I'm thinking about. I think if we got transported to the 100 acre woods, we'd probably be like size appropriate.
Yeah. It's also like in addition, I'm thinking in the lore of like the Christopher Robin live action,
Yeah.
where it's just Alice in Wonderland, but without the murderous stuff.
Yeah. It's
Like
just
it's
so cozy. Oh, and you probably don't want to live in Owl's house either because when the wind blows, his house
oh yeah, I forgot
blows
about
too.
that.
But this is Piglet's house.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah. Okay. So I chose the tree
Oh
on the
my
hill from
gosh.
Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's small but cozy. I think similar to Piglets, it's like has a nice kind of aesthetic
Yeah.
and is in a tree. It's close to food places. Those
True.
three factory guys.
True.
There's also multiple exits
True.
in case they come after you. It has a very good view. However, because of some of your neighbors, possibly, it might get chopped down as they try to find.
That's true. I would like to pick tree on hill,
Me too.
but
Yeah.
Piglet's house is safer. Like a
Yes.
safer neighborhood, so that's why I'm like
Yeah, like I love Fantastic Mr. Fox. I think the world of all those characters are so cool. However, the world of Winnie the Pooh is like a comfort for me, and I would
that's
like
true.
that's like because you know like how like the stories are like oh in this like kind of similar to Coraline where you go to this like quote unquote perfect world and then it all goes
Yeah.
wrong. Winnie the Pooh that never happens.
It's just vibes.
It just vibes.
Winnie the
Like
Pooh, it's just vibes.
it's like the fall like the fall feeling and like
Yes.
cozy and the only like big problem that ever happens to them is they get stuck in a hole.
Well, an owl's house fell down at one point.
Well, that too.
Eeyore's sad all the time.
Me too, Eeyore.
Eeyore's relatable. Eeyore and Piglet are relatable.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can just like leave also, like whenever you want. Like if you
Yeah.
get hungry and you don't want to eat like forest food, you can just like go.
Yeah.
You can like leave the 100 acre woods and then come back at the end of the day.
And yeah, and then also in addition, Rabbit grows all his food.
That's true. That's
so,
true. I think
going
we're
over-
both gonna go Winnie the Pooh. I
my-
almost picked the other one though.
Me too.
It's just that there's a lot of danger going on.
Oh yeah, there's wolves. There's a weird Willem Dafoe rat.
Yeah.
There's the three murderous like humans.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Oh,
haunted.
Oh my
These are
gosh.
strictly haunted houses. This is the Freeling home
Oh my
from Poltergeist. It is the perfect size for families. There is an entrance to another dimension in the closets. It is built on a burial ground. And it is occupied by a demon called the Beast.
Oh my god, I was this close to choosing Poltergeist, so this is cool.
I don't have much of a pitch for this. Other than like it's a nice house. Like when you watch that movie, you're like, this is a pretty nice house. Entrance to other dimension closets, that can be cool. That can be cool.
It can be cool.
Maybe just don't put your kids in those rooms.
Or like attach a rope to them.
Yes.
And then don't go into the pool.
No, don't go into the pool.
Don't go into the pool,
Don't
Caroline.
go in
Don't
the
go
pool.
into the
But there's a pool.
There
That's
is
a
a pool.
plus.
I chose Hill House.
I almost chose Hill House.
Private room. There's a
Yeah.
room that's specialized for you. There's a lot of staircases though, but they're pretty
Yeah.
staircases. But you might need to be careful on one of them. There's possible mold or supernatural.
Fire hazard staircase.
Yeah, fire hazard.
Fire hazard staircase. And guess what? That was the one. That was the staircase that did it in for a few people. So
Exactly. I forgot how you say her name. Hot mom from Spy Kids and Victoria Petretti as roommates.
that's
However, and there are fun ghosts, but there's also ones that trick you into poisoning
Poppy.
people. Yep.
There's also Poppy. There's no way to win. in this scenario, there's no way to win. I'm trying to think about the worst stuff that happened in each of these things. There was a clown doll in the Freeling home, and I do have an actual fear of clowns. I don't think I can do that.
Yeah. And it's also like, in addition, like, even though you can escape both of these, in a way, for the free, like, but more crazy shit happens.
Yes. A
'Cause, like,
lot happens.
a lot happens there, but in Hill House, it's just a bunch of ghosts fucking with you. So
That's true, except for Poppy's dangerous. That's the only thing.
yeah,
And yeah, picking Hill House.
me too.
Because
If I
there
get
are
to-
nice ghosts there, and I think some of them would like protect. Yeah,
You know what?
I'm picking Hill House.
Yeah, it could be like a Beetlejuice situation.
I almost picked Beetlejuice.
I almost picked Beetlejuice too.
But here's the thing: ghosts and a demon, or just a million ghosts.
But at least it's not like the ghosts in Blind Manor.
That is true.
Okay, castles. Okay, castles. This is the next theme. So Olivia, what did you choose?
Oh, Beast's Castle from Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is one of my favorite Disney castles.
It's so pretty.
It's so good. There's sentient furniture and objects.
Yeah.
But there's the library. Oh my gosh.
The library.
I know. It's in the woods in like France. It's beautiful.
Yes.
There is a dungeon.
Okay. And
But the garden? Wow.
oh my god.
The garden's amazing. Actually, my second favorite Disney horse is in this movie.
Oh my god, Philippe.
Yeah.
I love Philippe. Originally gonna go for Ariel's castle, but then I was like, I know Olivia's not gonna think about it because it's close to the water. I chose the Naboo Palace from Attack of the Clones.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I didn't even think.
Well, the thing was, I was trying to think of something like something, and
Yeah.
I was like, the only thing I can think of is the like them getting married there. So there's
Yes.
beautiful architecture. There's many rooms. There's a lake view, and there's also a flower field with waterfalls. However,
I would be very allergic to the flower field.
That's true. But you don't have to go there if you don't want to. However, sometimes angsty teenagers rent there. You'll hear a teenager go, I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough, and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Every time I say sand, my dad's always like,
I don't like sand.
Man, this is hard because it's like space or France.
But like, you could be secluded in the library.
That's true.
Oh my God.
We're arguing for each other's things. I'm like, space, and you're like, the library.
Well, like, as much as Ariel's my like favorite Disney princess, like she's my number one. Belle, on the other hand, she's still in the top 3. I would love to live her life. So I'm gonna choose Beast's Castle.
I think I will too, but it was a hard decision.
It was a
hard decision for me.
I
struggled picking something for this, but I was like, let me just pick my favorite Disney castle. And
even if you went during, like, even before or after, it's gonna be cool either way.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Last one,
is
cozy.
cozy. I chose the March House from Little Women.
Oh
Spacious attic.
my.
Man, that
Mm-hmm.
attic is like, yeah.
Big.
Yeah. Small but comfortable. There is no heating. But there's a fireplace. But fall vibes 24/7.
And then you're also surrounded by the March sisters, which I think is a
That's
plus.
true. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my god. Just imagine you being there, like watching their little plays and them fighting, and you're just like, this is a dream.
Stop.
So that's so funny you chose the March House, because I chose another Florence Pugh movie. I chose The Cottage and We Live in Time.
Oh my gosh. We saw this movie together.
We did see this movie. So I would say it has a lot of space. Even though it's a
Yeah.
small little cottage, you still have enough space for like one or two or three people living there. It's away from the city, but it's not too away
Yeah.
like the Cullen House and too away from Texas Chainsaw Massacre House. You also have a chicken coop, so if you like eggs, there's free
Yeah.
eggs. And then it's also pretty and good scenery. Like there's a lot of trees and green and area, and also the rooms are pretty cute.
I'm picking it. I'm picking it. And the reason why is because like practicality. Like
Yeah,
the March House is old.
yeah,
Like
and
it is old and I can't live with no heating.
Arch House, if it had heating, which obviously they don't,
Yeah.
because it's the
Yeah.
1800s. The cottage though, you still get a Florence Pugh kind of cameo.
That's true. That's
Andrew
true.
Garfield.
And Andrew Garfield. Scene where he proposes, that is the coziest
That's what I was
like
thinking.
that house has ever looked. Like it is the coziest a house has ever looked.
Literally, that's like the whole movie. That's like my dream is just to have like a small little cottage and have like a dog and then.
And Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh.
Yes, exactly. Oh my god, yes, you took the words out of my mouth, Olivia.
Well,
Well,
I would like to hear what you guys chose.
yeah, please.
Um, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of differing opinions. I think that we both chose really good ones.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Why did you choose Twilight over Parasite?" And we're gonna be like, "It
Yeah.
was the house."
Thinking practically. Please, if you like this video, give it a like. All of our links are in the description. We have a Discord. You should hop in there. We like put movie news up in there. We talk about different movie stuff that goes on. We talk about every trailer that pretty much every trailer that drops
Yeah, Olivia
for
like
like
lets me
everything.
know when a trailer drops because she'll post in it, and I'll be like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. So if you want to be in on film and TV news, and if you just want to come hang out and talk with us, then you can hop in there. We also have a movie club going
Yes.
on. Yay. Our June movie club movies are But I'm a Cheerleader and Bottoms. So come have fun and hang out and talk about those movies with us. Please take care of yourselves. We've been Silver Screeners. See
Woo!
you next week.
Bye.